Hi, I'm Mike Bellevue, and we're out at the range today with E.M.F's SASS 1873 rifle. Now, this rifle is made by Uberti in Italy, and it's imported by E.M.F, and then they send it out for a variety of custom work. You've got a number of options, and I'll explain those and go through the features of the rifle, and then we can take it out and see what it does on the range. Well, E.M.F's SASS Model 1873 rifle is based on the short rifle configuration that is so popular with cowboy action shooters today. And a short rifle essentially is a carbine-sized rifle in that it has rifle characteristics instead of carbine characteristics. So it's got a 20-inch barrel, just like a carbine, but it doesn't have a barrel band holding the forearm on, and it doesn't have a barrel band with the front sight. It's got a dovetailed front sight, and it's got an actual nose cap on the forearm, just like the rifles. And the barrel is octagon instead of round, like on the rifles. The receiver is color case hardened, not blued the way the carbines are. And instead of the flat carbine style buttstock, it's got a rifle crescent style buttstock. So that's the base gun. E.M.F then has each side plate, both sides of the gun, engraved with the SASS logo. And you can get that either gold filled or au naturel, simply engraved steel with no filling. Well, Evil Roy is downrange, and as you can see, he's feeling a little blue because he's been locked in the truck for the last 2 months freezing. But today he's out, and let's let him do what he does best, which is stopping lead. Let's take E.M.F's SASS 73 and see if we can make Evil Roy's chimes ring. That's what Evil Roy was waiting for. If you order a SASS 1873, you get your choice of 3 different action levels. You can get one with a standard Uberti factory action, nothing done to it, and that's actually a fine action generally. Or you can get one that is fully tuned and race ready, a complete action job done by the Cowboys and Indians shop in Santa Ana, California. And as you can see from looking at this, they really slick them up. I mean, these guns are like glass. The moving parts are absolutely like oil on glass. In fact, even the side plates are polished so that as the toggle links move against them, there's a minimum of friction. And that's a wonderful action job. And your third choice is to get the full Cowboys and Indians action job, plus a Cowboys and Indians short stroke kit, which will cut about 2 inches off of your lever throw. I should have kept count. E.M.F's 1873 SASS gun is available with an action job and a short stroke kit. And I realize that most SASS competitors know what a short stroke kit is, but a lot of our other viewers might not. So I'm going to explain exactly what that is. In a nutshell, it shortens up your lever throw so you can go faster. Now, the E.M.F gun has a short stroke action, and to understand how a short stroke works, you need to understand the relationship between the lever and between the internal parts. There are really 2 areas that you have to deal with to get a short stroke. Now, this is a standard, unaltered Winchester 76. And if you look right here, this shelf engages the lifting lever right there. So I'm going to show you. It's a long stroke. Right here it engages the lever, and boom, cartridge carrier comes up, and everything functions. So that's the standard stroke. Now let's take a look at the short stroke. So here's E.M.F's SASS rifle with a short stroke kit in it from the Cowboys and Indians Store. And right away you're going to notice that this part that we couldn't even see in the standard stroke version is very visible in the short stroke. And what this is the bottom of the lifting lever that goes in here and raises the cartridge lifter. So that extends farther down, and that means that this shelf in the operating lever is going to catch it earlier in the cycle. And you can see I'm going to catch it right here. Boom, and now I'm lifted. And we've got a significantly shorter lever throw to do that. So that's the first part of making a short stroke kit. Getting the cartridge elevator to lift early, of course, is an important part of the short stroke kit. But if the bolt doesn't retract in time for that lifter to make way for that lifter, you're just going to have a mess. So an equally important part of a short stroke kit are a redesigned set of toggle links to get the bolt cleared back sooner so that your cartridge carrier can come up in a clear space. And these are the links from the Cowboy and Indian Store. So the effect of putting a short stroke kit in is to shorten up the overall lever throw by 2.5 inches, depending on who's doing it and what the kit is. The gun on top, which is an unaltered gun, has a lever throw of 6.25 inches, the way SASS measures it, which is from a 0.3 inches behind the trigger where it's pinned to the frame. So that's the baseline. Now the Cowboys and Indians tuned SASS gun below, that's got a lever throw of 4.25 inches. So it's 2 inches less distance to travel, and therefore a little bit of speed. And for top shooters, cowboy action competitors, that really matters, because 100th of a second in a stage can mean the difference between first place finish and a second place finish. Now, one of the downsides of these highly tuned race guns is that the springs have been lightened so much that they're barely strong enough to set off the caps. And in fact, sometimes they're not going to pop primers at all. And I actually had a real problem with this with factory ammo, Hornady's and Black Hills, on my first range session. Well, Evil Roy's ne'er-do-well nephew, Paper Pete, is hanging out downrange. And let's see if we can perforate him with the E.M.F. SASS 73. Okay, and that's the way that today has been going, guys. Sometimes these tuned guns are just lightened too much. After that, I got a hold of Debbie Sims, the honcho over at E.M.F, to let her know what was going on. And she contacted Jim Lincoln, who's the gunsmith at the Cowboys and Indians Store, who did the tune-up on their guns. And Jim said that he tuned these up specifically for Winchester and Remington primers. And maybe the factory ammo I was using had CCI primers and was too hard. So I picked up some Winchester primers and I loaded a batch of ammo and took it back to the range. But one other thing that Jim said is that I might need to tighten up the tensioning screws that tension up the mainspring of the rifle. And that'll give a heavier hammer fall. Now they lighten these things way up. That spring is ground down to be light, and the tension is really backed off on it to give you the smoothest possible action. So I cranked those screws down, which really made no impact. It still has a 2-pound trigger pull, and it operates as smoothly as it did before. and took it back out to the range. And here are the results. So now we know that it'll set off Winchester primers in my hand loads. But let's see if it'll set off that factory ammo now that I had so much trouble with the other day before I adjusted the spring tension. So we'll start off with the Black Hills loads, and then we'll run some Hornady Cowboy through it, and we'll see how it handles it. Well, here we go with the Black Hills ammo. No problems with that. All right, now I'll run it with the Hornady Cowboy loads, see if they go off. Let's try for a nad shot. A little high in the nads, but still fun. So I think that proves that with the spring tension adjusted, this gun will run anything now.